Hey, thanks for joining me. I am a very new Uber driver, and I wanted to make a video to share my experience with you guys. If you are interested in doing Uber and you're looking up videos to see what you could find out, which is one of the things I did besides reading about it online. I'm doing it for less than 2 weeks, and I'm doing it on Long Island, Nassau County. And honestly, I have to say that I love it. It's fascinating, actually. The first fascinating thing about it is I never spoke to one person before I got hired. I got hired all through my phone. I did everything through my smartphone. Registered, gave them all the information they needed, waited about a week, and bam, I got an email that said I was ready to go. In that meantime, waiting for that process, I did download the driver's app, and I was playing around with it a little bit just to get familiar with it. And once they told me I was good to go, I was able to just go online. But I do want to share a couple of things that I did that hopefully you won't do, and it will prevent you possibly from, being in the situation I was in, which is not really bad at all. It's just that my acceptance rate plummeted because what I was doing once I got accepted, I wasn't really able to go out and drive at that moment, but I was playing around with the app, and I would go online. And the second I would go online, I would get these driver requests. So I would just hit, no thanks, or not answer them. And I didn't realize that there was an acceptance rate. There was a lot of things that I didn't learn until after I started driving. Partly because I couldn't find the answer to some of the questions, and maybe I didn't do enough research. I don't know, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the video. So that was one thing. Do not put on your online, don't click on online unless you are ready to drive. The other thing that I was not so sure about was the destination and the time. Maybe that's an obvious thing. I don't know. For me, it wasn't. I couldn't really figure it out, like why they were asking me if I wanted to set that. Like I said, maybe it is obvious, but I realized one day when I was I guess I was on Old Country Road, and I got a request, and I accepted it. And it was a Friday afternoon of Labor Day weekend, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I pull up, and this woman comes out with a child and suitcases and said they were going to LaGuardia Airport. So I was like, oh my God. I was really not the place I wanted to go on Labor Day weekend, Friday afternoon. But it hit me right between the eyes of why that destination and time is important. So I want to say I learned the hard way, but honestly, it really wasn't bad at all. I made it there in record time. Coming home was a little tricky, but it didn't matter. I made it home when I did. And as soon as I hit Nassau County, I went back online and I picked up a few different people along the way coming home. So that was interesting. The other thing that I wasn't clear about was the airports. And also, from what I gather, I can drive someone to JFK or LaGuardia. I'd have to pick someone up in the pickup area or the cell phone area. Otherwise, once I leave the airport, I cannot pick up in the city limits unless I was at the airport. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that I had to stay within the boundaries of Nassau County and Suffolk County, but I didn't understand if I was driving someone to the city, why couldn't I pick, someone up home? I can at the airport, but not after the airport. So that was that. But I have to say that if you are interested in driving for Uber or Lyft, I'm just doing it for Uber right now, I think you should do it. I'm here to encourage you, because the bottom line is, unless you go through the process of being accepted as a driver, you're not going to be able to drive. But once you have the go-ahead and you're registered and they okay you, it's up to you. You don't have to drive. You can drive for an hour a day. You can do 2 hours a day. Or you just can decide not to do it if you are doing it for a little while and you're not enjoying it. But once you get the registration and you're good to go, that's the only way you're going to find out. It is definitely a way to make money. And obviously, the more hours you put in, the more money you're going to make. If you're just looking to make some pocket change, there you go. It's there. If you want to make a little more than pocket change,